what we want to do is want to quickly play what he had to say originally, because it's going to give you guys a nice contrast when we play what he just said today. So take a listen to what Brian Windhorst had to say originally there about the situation.
Before we move on from the Lakers, I just want to say something about Bronny James. I have been absolutely 100% on board with the entire Bronny James experience. I think I would have preferred he stay in college, but that was never going to happen. I totally have endorsed the Lakers getting him at the 55th pick. I think that's exactly where he should have gone. Totally fine with him, playing and being active for a little bit and playing with LeBron. I think anything that engages LeBron and gets more out of LeBron at this stage is a win for the Lakers, especially if it's costing you the 55th pick. And there have been some people that have grumbled about the contract that Bronny got, 3 years guaranteed. I mean, okay, I guess like maybe that was a little bit more than maybe he merited, but like, I don't even really care. I've seen teams, I saw DeAndre Jordan get a $40 million contract to try to get more from Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Like on that scale, this is nothing. But I'm going to apply the brakes on my everything's fine on the Bronny front with this thing that's now happening, which is that from my understanding, he's only going to play in the South Bay Lakers home games, that he's only going to kind of be a part-time G League player. And he's not getting on United Airlines and going to fly and go see these playing this road games. Now, because honestly, like I know he was getting so much special treatment and nepotism. That's fine. Honestly, I don't care. Like I said, it's normal. Now I think it's actually detrimental to him. I don't like that. I don't know whose idea it was. Obviously, the Lakers are fine with it. They're doing it. I've now on this particular instance, I think that's gone too far, and I don't think that benefits Bronny. I don't think it benefits the South Bay Lakers, and I don't think it benefits LeBron at that point. I think it'd be much better if Bronny was a more developed player by February or March by playing in G League road games. I don't know if you feel the same way, but that's the way I feel on this topic.
So you heard his comments. So what happened? This morning, I was just combing through the internet, and I came across a soundbite of a Brian Windhorst on the Dan Patrick Show. And he had a 17-minute talk with him. And one of the things he decided to talk about was what he said about Bronny James. And he even titled the video, Brian Windhorst Clarifies Bronny Comments. So what we want to do is want to play for you the complete reversal of Brian Windhorst on his views now versus what he said before. Take a listen to what he just had to say here on the Dan Patrick Show. Take a listen to that there.
Wendy, I mentioned your report. It wasn't a report, felt like an opinion on Bronny, but you know how it works. You say something, then all of a sudden people make it a report. And it felt like Bronny was maybe being a diva, the way it was presented, that he's not flying, not getting on an airplane. So I wanted to be fair because I was critical of the report, or your opinion, I should say. So I wanted to have you on just so we can maybe better understand what is it that Bronny is doing in the G League and what happens when his team is on the road.
Yeah, I know we're in this era where you can go on as you know, Dan, you can say something for, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and then one paragraph gets pulled out and it's like you lose all the context. That's reality. What I said, and I'll say again, was that I am totally on board with the whole Bronny James thing with the Lakers. I think it was a smart move to draft him. I think it was a great move to bring him around the team because the 55th pick in the draft hits a single-digit percentage of the time. And if the Lakers can use the 55th pick on Bronny James and get a more engaged LeBron this year, I don't care if it's a single-digit percentage more engaged LeBron. It's a good investment. And so I've been totally on board with it. And also, it is not unusual for NBA roster players, and Bronny is an NBA roster player. He's not a two-way player. This is a little bit of splitting of hairs, especially if you're a casual NBA fan. You don't really care that much about it. But there's a difference between a two-way contract where you're basically signed to spend a lot of your time, if not most of your time, in the G League, and you don't even get paid a full NBA salary, versus being a roster player where you get a full NBA salary no matter what, which Bronny is a full roster player. It is not unusual for full roster players to go down and only play home games for their teams, especially when their teams are so close to the parent club, which in a lot of cases is either in the city or within a very short drive. So in and of itself, it is not special treatment, which is what it sounded like if you only read the tweet. It sounded like that. That's not what I was saying. What I was saying was, I think it would be better for Bronny to go spend a bunch of time in the G League. And that this is the first thing, in my opinion, that it is a misstep with Bronny. And not only that, the South Bay Lakers, the Lakers G League team, which plays, I'm in Los Angeles right now, they just play, 15 miles from Crypto. They have a great history of producing guys who go play with them. They actually have a great development history. We're talking about like Alex Caruso, Taylor Horton Tucker, Austin Reeves, Scottie Pippen Jr., who's playing huge minutes right now for the Memphis Grizzlies, was a guy who spent a bunch of time with the South Bay Lakers. Jay Huff, also playing with the Grizzlies. And so I was just offering an opinion that Bronny should go play there and that should be what happened. I know you take out one paragraph of what I just said, and I said, I don't know if they don't want him to get on an airline, if that's an issue. And also, here's something else. I never said, nor is it true, that this was being asked for by Bronny James or LeBron James. This is the Lakers' organizational decision. And I never said differently. But again, if you only hear a paragraph, if you only read a paragraph, and I understand that social media in a lot of ways programs our world. But that's what I said then. That's what I say now. And I don't change my opinion on that.
So you heard what Brian Windhorst had to say there. Brian is here running for the hills, man. He is running for the hills. I think in the original sound that we played, his views were 100% clear. It's the reason why it made so much noise, because a lot of people concurred with his view. A lot of people agreed.